Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we're going to compare and contrast two fragrances from the house of Louis Vuitton. These are both fragrances that belong in the California range, or what Louis Vuitton likes to label as their cologne range, although they are eau de parfum, so it's a little weird. They are labeled as the cologne collection, but they're eau de parfums. But I get what they're trying to do here. Essentially, what the fragrances are, they are eau de parfums that have a cologne-like quality to them. So we're going to focus a lot on these fragrances when it comes to citrusy, clean, fresh, fruity scents that are very traditional notes for colognes, but they are not colognes, they are eau de parfums. So let's get right into it and compare both of these fragrances. So the first one I have here is City of Stars, launched in 2022. And then I have a 2020 release, and this is California Dream. The reason I decided to compare and contrast both of these fragrances because, at least in my opinion, and my journey whenever I was trying to buy a Louis Vuitton fragrance, was that I was having such a hard time picking and choosing which one to go for. So I'm going to try to do comparisons on all of these to give you, grand scoop to see if, one's better than the other, so on and so forth. But we're comparing both of these today because if you're probably shopping for this one, you're probably shopping for this one as well. They probably have both caught your eye based on their descriptions, and they both have a similar-ish vibe, if you will. They're a little different, completely different actually, but we're going to go through them to see what the differences are, what the similarities are, and to see which one is better for you. Starting off with California Dream, because it was obviously launched first, this fragrance has mandarin orange and Brett, as well as benzoin as the notes listed on here. Both of these are creations by Jacques Cavalier, which is the in-house perfumer for Louis Vuitton. He's very famous, he's very talented if you ask me when it comes to these citric notes. He just knows how to deliver them in such a unique way, which is hard to actually find in perfumery now. Typically, citric fragrances can kind of come off as generic at this point. We've seen it all, we've smelt it all. There's nothing else left to do. And for some reason, this perfumer, Jacques Cavalier, never ceases to disappoint when it comes to the fragrances. So, like I said, mandarin orange and Brett, as well as benzoin. So we're going to get a very clean, fresh, delicate, modern fragrance. Now, this fragrance to me is the epitome of luxury, but modern luxury. It smells like if you were on a very expensive, brand spanking new, ultra modern yacht, or if you're in one of those beautiful glass houses that are completely modern and futuristic that sits on a Malibu beach. It's just chef's kiss. This really gives you a light, airy quality to it that makes it so different to everything else in the collection because it's the most delicate one in my opinion, which can kind of make the customer, whenever you're buying a fragrance from Louis Vuitton and you're looking at this range, you probably will sit there and say, I'll skip on this and I'll get another one. But it's definitely a hidden gem in my opinion. It really gives you that elevated luxury, but very modern, like I said, very clean, very crisp, very 21st century, very futuristic, but it's still done well to where it becomes timeless. And that's very difficult to do, use something that's, modern, but that's still timeless, classic, and can be worn for generations and loved by many. So California Dream is definitely a good scent. Then going on to City of Stars. This one was launched in 2022. So the newest one that they just launched was Pacific Chill. This one was the one that launched before it. And this is only in the California range, of course. They have launched other ones outside of this range. I think that they typically launch one each summer, but the notes for this one are going to be tiare, blood orange, red mandarin orange, bergamot, lime, musk, lemon, and sandalwood. So we get a lot more fruity elements in this fragrance. We get some very nice citric elements in this fragrance. That blood orange makes this fragrance incredibly unique, incredibly different. This fragrance is definitely very emotional. It's fruity and soft, and it's really, really a masterclass on perfumery because it grabs all of these citric notes in this and the fruity elements and just harmonizes them. They work together. You don't see anything standing out on its own and, trying to take the spotlight. Everything together is wrapped around and really just works in cohesion and in harmony, which is beautiful in this fragrance. I think that this is one of the ones that people actually, overlook as well, unfortunately. In my opinion, it's probably one of the best ones because it has an emotional side to it. Both of these categorize themselves in very different ways, so they're very different vibes. This one, like I said, is going to be clean and modern and futuristic. It's like if you're going to a very nice beach home that's ultra modern, and this one is very different. This one is, to me, in my opinion, if you loved Cactus Garden, you'll probably love this one here. Cactus Garden was one of the original ones that was launched in this range. It got axed and discontinued, unfortunately, which I'm very sad about because I never got the opportunity to buy it. I was not doing fragrance reviews, and at the time, Louis Vuitton was out of my price range, so I never purchased it. Wish I would have, though, because that's a brilliant scent. I love it so much, but this is kind of like the replacement to that because it gives you that dry California desert. This is like being in the desert in the middle of the night and seeing stars gleam in the sky. It's like being in the California desert and rain trickling down. It's a very unique scent. I really do like it. To me, Jacques Cavalier took a very different approach with this one than he did with California Dream. It's more of a romanticized way of looking at California. It's kind of like if you first get to Hollywood and you see the beauty of the city, you see the beautiful weather, the beautiful people, the beautiful ambiance that the actual city has to it. And it's just a very romantic way of looking at the city of Los Angeles. It's incredibly well done. To me, it's kind of like I said, it's like watching the city lights at night when it's raining. Everything gleams, everything looks so glamorous and effortless and, very, like I said, romanticized. And I think that they really did focus on that with this fragrance. And I do love it because of that reason. Now, I will say when it comes to smell, both of them are very, very different. This one is going to be very light wearing. It's going to be very citricy. It's going to have some very nice ambrette in it. And ambrette in this makes this a soft, delicate citrus fragrance. But the benzoin gives it a little bit of a depth to it, but it's not a deep fragrance. Don't go out there and thinking that you're going to get something that has super deep characteristics to it because this one's not going to. But it doesn't need to have that because it's one of those fragrances that is just so well done, even though it's not a deep scent. This one gives you a little bit more depth and nuances, but you're getting those fruity elements. And blood orange itself, being in this fragrance, gives it a very unique characteristic because blood orange has a very unique smell to it. It's very nice, it's very tart, but there's a very sweet fruitiness to blood orange when it comes to smell, and this one delivers it very well. It's probably, in my opinion, one of the best blood orange fragrances that I have smelled in a long time. It does it very well. It's not stealing the show, the blood orange in here. It's working with everything else. Another one that I really do like is J'adore the Eau de Toilette. That one has a very beautiful, light and tart fruity element to it, but it just adds a refinement to it. There's this luxury aspect to the scent together with everything else in here. So the blood orange, you get the red mandarin orange in this, you get that beautiful bergamot, the lime, the musk. The musk in here is absolutely beautiful. The lemon, it's just a zesty, tart, sweet lemon. I know people are gonna be like, lemons aren't sweet. No, they can be. And I should know because I love eating them just by themselves with salt. I know, very off topic. And the sandalwood in this is just creamy, soft, and delicate. It's a luxurious sandalwood, but it's not one that's going to steal the show and be too deep to the point where everything else is kind of just sitting on top. It works together with everything. Like I said, a beautiful harmonization of notes with this fragrance, and I love it. Now, going into wear tests, this one is not going to wear very long. California Dream is definitely a fragrance that you have to reapply and re-put onto the skin because it is light in character. It's also light in smell. It's very fresh and fine, so it won't dissipate after 4 hours. You'll still have it as a skin scent, but if you are trying to captivate the room and if you want attention, you're going to have to reapply this one multiple times throughout the day. Now, I know that's a problem because it's a little bit expensive. The good thing about Louis Vuitton is that these are refillable. If you go into the Louis Vuitton boutique, I don't have one by me, so I definitely try not to spray these too much because there's not a boutique by me. The nearest one is Chicago, but you can refill them. So if that is something you're into and you really like this fragrance and you want to spray it on multiple times, you can. It is pricey, but it might save you some money to have a refillable bottle. Now, this one itself is going to have a longer wear time than California Dream. It's going to wear anywhere from 5 to 6 hours. In my opinion, it's one of the ones that lasts the longest in this range. There's afternoon swim, there's on the beach, there's Pacific chill, and this one itself is probably the longest lasting in my opinion. For my testing, this one in Pacific Chill have the longest wear test. It does average anywhere from 6 to 7 hours. After those 6 to 7 hours, it does become a skin scent and it becomes a lot lighter on the actual skin. And you will have to reapply it if you're trying to captivate the room. Now, both of these can come off a little bit different. So, City of Stars is definitely going to captivate more of a feminine audience. In my opinion, I love it. I don't really care. I love the fruity elements to this one. I love the zesty elements to this fragrance. I think it's very unisex, but I know people will sit there and say that this one is a lot more feminine. And Californian Dream is more on the unisex level. I'm not going to say it's masculine because it's definitely not. It's definitely right in between both feminine and masculine, and I do like it because if you do want something that's going to be more on the middle spectrum, then definitely check this one out. If you're looking for something that's going to have a little bit more of a feminine energy to it, then definitely get this one. Both of them to me are great masterpieces, and I have such a hard time sitting here telling you which one to get. I'm just trying to come on here to tell you what the difference is between both of them, which one is the one that lasts longer, what kind of vibes each one of them has, because they're both very different and very unique in their own unique way. And I definitely think that if you're looking for something that's going to be lighter and fresh and modern and futuristic, but timeless and classic, then definitely check out Californian Dream. But just keep into consideration that this fragrance will not last you all freaking day. You will have to reapply it, but I mean, if you love the scent, I mean, it is a very unique scent when it comes to actual citric fragrances. And when it comes to City of Stars, you'll definitely get a fragrance that's going to last longer. It has some deep elements to it. Everything works in harmony with this fragrance. It's fruity, it's citricy, it has woody elements to it, it has musk in it. It's just it's captivating. It's a captivating fragrance. I love it. It does wear a little bit longer than the other ones in this range, in my opinion, this one and Pacific Chill. But I do think that this fragrance itself is going to be more feminine leaning. So if that's a problem for you, then definitely check out a different one. Or you can get this one and layer it with other ones. I mean, that's a really good thing. Both of these layered together are like gem. They are goals, literally, because you're getting that very soft, delicate, modern touch, and you're getting that beautiful dreaminess that you get out of this fragrance. Because, like I said, there's a romanticism to City of Stars that is not present in any other fragrance in this range, which I really, really like that because the perfumer is actually conveying emotion through perfumery, which I know to some people sounds silly, but he somehow did it with this fragrance. And I definitely think that, he did it very well. And the fragrance to me is a must have when it comes to Louis Vuitton. I know there's some other ones that, are must haves as well. I am trying to get more in this channel. It's just so difficult because every time I'm ready to pull the trigger, the price has increased and it just keeps going up and up and up. And I know that that's never going to stop, but it's a little difficult to get all these fragrances on this channel so quickly. But yes, let me know down in the comments which one of these you like the most. Do you like one over the other? Do you like both of them? Do you hate both of them? Is there another one you prefer from the house of Louis Vuitton? Let me know all of that down in the comments. Also, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more fragrance related content. Until next time, you guys, take care.